This is the Glenn Schultz car, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of people know this car. It's the first time it's ever been out in public since 1972.
Wow.
I had to bring it. I had to finally get it out, right?
Well, and here's a factory 440 6-pack, 4,000 original miles. This car only has 4,000 original miles on it, and it's the original owner, 1970 Plymouth Cuda. So we need to find the story out on this car. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Whose is this? Is this is yours? I'm with Junkyards and Barn Finds. Can you tell me about it? So, tell me. I'm Sean.
Mike Ross, B-E-N-A.
Oh, hey, Mike. So, tell me a little bit about the car.
Original owner?
You're the original owner?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It was it. You one owner car.
Still in his name.
Okay.
Glenn ordered this car when he was 19 years old, and when he ordered the car, he wanted a Hemi.
Okay.
But he had to have a stick, and the salesman said you couldn't get the Hemi with the stick.
Okay.
I don't think they wanted to carry the warranty.
Right.
Because I heard that same story from another guy up in Connecticut. So he ordered the car. He used it in the summer. Well, it was delivered first week of December. So he used it that summer and a little in the next summer, and then parked it. And it had been in the garage since '72.
He just was like done.
He knew it was special, and then he married and kids, and
right. So
you
it
know,
just got put on the back burner, and then it just stayed on the back burner.
Yeah, and I met Glenn because he was renting space from my father's warehouse because he had a welding shop.
Okay.
That's where I met Glenn. I was 18 years old.
Right.
And that's when I found out he had the car. I was just a tourist then.
Right.
I didn't know shit.
Right.
So from there, we stayed friends. And 30 years later, you know, he retired, had property in Southern Ohio, and him and I were, because he's only 4 miles from my house, so I always stayed in contact.
Right.
I was the guy.
Hey, how you doing? How's the car?
Yeah, you know who David Hakim was?
I know the name.
From Chrysler?
Yeah.
Okay. When David came and seen me, I took him over to see the car. Now this is much later, I'm grown up now, but I started BE&A restoration parts.
Okay.
So shortly after that, he retired. He makes the phone call to me. He goes, Mike, we gotta talk. And I knew exactly what that meant.
Right.
And went over to the house, probably there for 3-4 hours talking and history and, you know, about the car. And a couple, 3-4 sodas later.
So he was looking for somebody to take care of the legacy, not just
he told
buy the
me
car.
that day, he said nobody had a chance of getting this car but you.
Right.
Because I'm the only guy that was there, you know, but he was he's a good friend.
Right.
And he was local.
Right. And, and that's the thing, he wanted somebody he knew, he wanted to go to the good home, not just any home.
Okay, so there's even more to the story.
Okay.
So, not just how crazy this car is.
Right.
Well, when he ordered this car, his father also ordered a car for his mom.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a pink 70 Fury before?
Never seen a pink. I've seen pink Cudas. I've never seen the pink.
There's one made.
Wow.
His father ordered it special for his mom.
Wow.
And I think they did it because they were buying 2 cars.
Right.
So I also own his mother's car.
Oh wow.
Which is a pink Fury 3, white painted top 2-door with doggish hubcaps and pink rims.
Now with that
so
one,
I've got that one too.
Now did they park that similar to this one, or that
his
one?
Dad was a hoarder.
Oh, okay.
He still even had his father's 51 Ford. And after I bought this car, Glenn was telling him, let Mike have it, because I restore cars.
Right.
He goes, Dad, you'll see it before you pass.
Right.
You know, and he wouldn't sell it.
Ah.
And I knew exactly when his father passed away because he called me.
Like that was like, we
Yeah,
know you.
I
we know
knew.
this is going to you.
Yeah.
So
he
it's
said, come and
fine.
get it. Yeah, he said, come and get it. Oh, no, your dad passed away. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
But that's how that happened.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I've known this car. It took me 25 years or more to own it.
But that's the
Well, it
thing.
gets better though.
Okay.
I do a lot of work overseas.
All right.
So I was building a convertible for Mohammed. His brother's the king of Bahrain. Mohammed is the head of the military in Bahrain. That's where we have our largest naval base in the Middle East.
Yeah, I'm
Bahrain.
ex-Navy. I flew in the
There you go.
I flew in the Navy.
Right. So I'm building that car. Mohammed finds out about this car, and he's really into survivor kind of cars. And he worked me, and I put every roadblock up possible.
Right.
It's got to be this payment method. It's got to be this amount of money. No problem, no problem, no problem. Oh shit, I lost my car. Wow. So 5 years later, because we still talk.
Right.
We talk all the time. He says, hey Mike, brother, you want your baby back? And I go, why? What's wrong with it? He goes, I can't drive it. I go, so what? It don't run? He goes, Mike, I can't drive it. I can't put no miles on it. You want it back? I go, absolutely.
Yeah, you're
I
afraid.
said, but I can't afford it. He
Once it
goes,
has 4,000 miles, you don't want to put anything on.
right. So I told him, I said, right now I can't afford it. He goes, yes, you can. Don't worry, brother, I'll take care of you, which he did. I mean, the price was like, I have to buy it.
But I mean, like I said, it was it went to the right person.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
the
yeah.
caretaker of the car. You were
I'm just a
meant to be.
custodian.
That's what I mean. You're just the custodian of it. You were meant to be the custodian
that's
of it.
Right.
It's going to keep finding its way back. So.
Yep.
Now
Yeah,
you-
it still has the Bahrain plate on it.
Oh wow. Wow. So. Well, that's cool.
You know, because the muffler doesn't line up.
And obviously everything in it's a real. Probably, is that the original spare? I can't. That's what they didn't have
original.
that spare. They even had the small spares back then.
All your 15-inch tires had
Had the little ones.
space saver.
Wow.
All convertibles and all 15-inch wheel cars.
Wow. That's a beaut. It's. So how have you put any miles on it?
You know, when I sold the car, it was my buddy Dave Savaggio that was going to have it all containerized and everything. So it had to go to Wisconsin. I literally got in the car and I drove it about 1 mile because I wanted to get through the fourth gear.
Right.
To drive a Survivor original.
I was gonna say it's got.
I restore a lot of Cudas. You will never get one to feel like this, even restored.
I was just sitting there thinking, it had to be like a step back in time
Oh,
because it's
dude,
got to feel like it come off the
It
showroom.
feels like a brand new car that you cannot duplicate when you restore.
Yeah.
You just can't. It feels different.
Everything
It's
is tight.
just different.
Everything is tight.
It's just totally different.
And are these the original tires on there?
Well, that's another story. So, yes, I had all 4 original tires on it. That's the only thing I didn't get back because Mohammed said, well, you know, those are old. So Dave put reproductions on it. Those tires ended up with Frank Battleson on a Hemi car that he was restoring because they were all dated right.
Right.
My tires are gone.
Well, but
$5,000 worth of tires gone.
Well-
The wheels are original. Everything else is original.
and it's just fabulously perfect. I mean, this is literally like if I went to a showroom and got one, this probably has less miles than the guy who had that showroom, the one that you could go and test
Demo.
drive.
Yeah,
the
the
demo.
demo.
Wow. Wow. That's the kind of cars and the stories you see here, guys. Look at this. It's almost a good thing you sold it to somebody overseas because the title didn't mean anything. Right?
No. Oh,
if
no,
you'd
no,
have sold it to somebody here, they would have changed the title.
Absolutely. Well, his brother's the king. He's royal
Right.
family.
So he doesn't have to change
He tells
that.
one of his guys, go get me some plates.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it like almost was the luckiest thing ever to sell somebody like that, because if you sold it to somebody in the States, it would have then all of a sudden
This is the Glenn Schultz car, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of people know this car. It's the first time it's ever been out in public since 1972.
Wow.
I had to bring it. I had to finally get it out, right?
Well, dude, thank you for telling me the story.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking to me about it, everything else. So I appreciate it. So he's the guy.
Were we pretty big?
Yeah.
Our tent, this is no shit.
All right, guys. So here, hold on. Let me talk to So you guys know I love Mopars, but I don't know much about Mopars because they were too expensive when I was a kid to get Mopar parts.
Well, me too.
Fun.
So, okay,
So-
you're a Chevy guy, right?
Yeah.
Here's what us Mopar guys say. Any swinging dick that can fog a mirror can drive a Camaro, Mustang, whatever, Chevelle. You go to any local car show, and when I pull in with my 71 Hemi Cuda, it's funny. There'll be 300 cars there. They see me and hear me coming. I can see people wait until I park, and they're funneling through all the cars.
Well, even
because they want to see that fucking motor.
I grew up in Bucks County, and like back in the 80s when I'm 55, so that's when we were building cars. And you could go get a 327 or even a big block 4 for like $300, right? But my friend, and he had like 2 crate Hemis in his garage that never came out of the crate. And it was just like, you just went and looked at it. Because back then, it was before the new Hemi came out, and nobody could get a Hemi back then, and you would just look at it.
When I was a kid, I never saw a Hemi till I was in my 40s.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I was a Mopar guy, but I never saw one on the streets.
No,
Never.
well, his dad built cars that were in magazines and stuff. But I'm like, how come you don't use a Hemi? You can't
afford it, yeah.
It's like, if I can build it, I don't have one. So I was like, but anyway, so yeah, no, so I appreciate it. I didn't know who you were. And that's okay, because I come over
You're
and
a
I
Chevy
talk,
guy. What do you know?
And I saw this Cuda, but the story of it is like so awesome. And
see, I'm a non-binary car guy. I'll build
don't
anything.
even get me started
He
on
sits
that.
and stands. He don't care.
I'll build anything.
But-
Chevy, Chrysler, Ford. Yep.
But then the stories of these are what makes them special.
I don't know. Do you know who Dave Wise is?
I know the name.
Okay, Dave is like one of the
Big guys.
Yeah.
He's a really good friend of mine. He literally took 1,000 pictures of this car. And he said, Mike, all the cars I've documented, this is by far the nicest 6-pack survivor on the planet.
Now this is
Period.
what do they call it? Blueprint cars? What's the name of the cars that are so perfect?
Survivors.
No. Survivor's different, but they have ones that are so perfect that's what they grade other ones against.
Well, those are only gold cars that are built to what they were originally.
Right.
I mean, if you wanted to see overspray patterns and stuff like this would give you an idea.
That's what I mean.
Some
I thought they call them like blueprint cars that people can look at and
I
go,
don't know,
this is what they need to verify that this is how something was. They could look at this car to verify that's how that was.
Right. That's where all your restoration knowledge and the books come from and stuff. Cars like this.
Yeah, that's they base all the
And
restoration.
the sad part is when you restore a car like this, it's better than when it came out of the factory.
It's never better than unrestored.
No, I mean, the gaps are better, the paint's better, everything is, because you can see that
If this car was sold 30 years ago, it would have gotten restored.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They would have looked at it and said, "Oh my gosh, this is going to be such an easy restoration."
look at the gaps are
It's
terrible.
crazy.
Now it's sacrilegious, man. You don't pull a car like this apart.
Oh, it's and just
crazy.
finding and now there's so many little one-on-ones of like things like this that are coming out now because the original owners who never let them be known are now in their 80s and they're like I mean I found a guy that was it wasn't a Mopar, it was a different car down in Georgia. He was 85 years old in the middle of nowhere. I just happened to stop. He's like, "You want to see in the garage?" I went in there and he's like, he wanted to sell it because his son only drives electric vehicles in Texas. And he's 80. He's like, "What am I going to do? I'm not on the internet." We put his car up and sold in like 2 days to somebody from New Orleans. And I told him, I said, "When you sell it, give me a steak dinner." Because I don't get involved in sales and all that crap because I don't need the IRS coming after me. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.
Where it says merchandise store right here, merchandise store link, you will see it says https:/junkyards-barn-finds and you click on that and it's going to take you here.